Welcome to another Petoskey Strong Community Conversation. I'm Nikki Devitt, President of the Petoskey Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I am excited today to be joined by Ron Olson, the General Manager at the Odawa Casino. Giving you a little backstory before, Ron has been involved in tribal gaming for the last 30 years. This is his second time working for the tribe as General Manager of the casino. And the first time he worked for the tribe, he was the general manager of Victory's Casino. So he was involved in several small expansions of the casino, as well as the purchase of the whole Holiday Inn hotel. We brought Ron here today because we want to talk a little bit about the impact of COVID-19 on the businesses and especially the casino and the future plan for the casino going forward in the next couple of years, but most importantly, how the casino is keeping our community safe. So welcome, Ron. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you taking it.
Kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what we've done the last year. And this last year has just been an unbelievable year for the casino operation. I've never experienced anything like this in my last 30 years. So all of this was relatively new for the casino operation. And we took everything in stride and kept moving forward with it. But it has affected our business. We're probably down about 40% in our business. We keep track of, who comes and who comes how often, et cetera, et cetera. But, we're just down 40% no matter what we've done. But, there's a lot of things that we've done to try to make the property safe. And we try to relay that onto our customers through different times of the year through our newsletter, kind of keeping them updated on all the things that we've done. And when this whole thing happened in March, which, by the way, is almost a year ago today that we had shut down. And so what we did, we reached out to Indian Health Services. We reached out to Tribal Health. We reached out to the casino community to kind of find out what everybody's going to do or how they're going to respond to what we all faced almost a year ago. And there have been some changes that we've made. For one, we're no longer a 24/7 operation. We do close 4 hours every day, 7 days a week to clean. And, we've gone through and we've hired some additional staff to be part of that cleaning crew. We've purchased a number of misters, and I'm sure there's a name for them, but I can't remember the name, but they look like a Ghostbusters pack. They have a spraying arm on it, and they have a big pack on the back, and they walk through the properties at 4 o'clock for almost 5 hours, and they spray everything down from the back of the house to the front of the house. And I'm sure there's going to be some issues that'll arise. I know that I'm going to have to replace a lot of my slot seats because a lot of what we were putting down would be that chlorine mist that certainly dries out vinyl. Some of our touch screens on our slot machines have been damaged because we're laying down so much mist every day. And that's on top of wiping the machines down on a daily basis throughout the day. So we've really have put a great effort into trying to keep the property clean. The other big change that we've made that we'll probably stay consistent with is the no smoking. Currently, once this happened, we didn't allow smoking at any of the properties. As you know, we've got 2 casinos, one up in Mac City and certainly Petoskey here. We came up with a no smoking policy. If you want to smoke, you've got to go outside. And I know it's been difficult for those people that do smoke and want to smoke to have to stand outside in that cold weather and take their smoke break. But for the most part, the customers have been great. I've received a lot of positive comments, and that'll be a decision that we're going to have to make. Will we allow smoking in the casino once this is over? And the problem that we all face throughout the whole industry is, when is it over? I mean, who's going to all of a sudden make a call on June 1st that it's all clear and we can go back to normal?
I don't think so. I don't think we'll be all clear by June 1st. So it's good to have that concept of keep going. What do you keep doing?
Yeah.
And masks, everything are required.
That's the difficulty I think that we've faced in the last years is it's all new and we're going day by day, and things do pop up that cause us to zig and zag, and again, we're just dying for going back to normal. But yeah, when will that day come? But either way, chances are I think that we will probably stay no smoking. And, we'll develop a smoking area onto the gaming floor at both properties. And we will ask our smokers to stay in that particular area if they want to have a cigarette. We've had a lot more positive comments about no smoking. It's something that we've talked about in the casino industry ever since I got into it. I mean, we've always struggled with, do we allow smoking? Do we not? It's always gone back and forth, and nobody was really able to make that decision. We were all afraid about it. I can't, every year we've always talked about it. And this year we were forced to do it. And lo and behold, it's probably not as bad as we thought it would be as far as the repercussions of some of our customers. So I think that you'll see a lot more casinos this year going non-smoking.
I think yeah. I was going to say, I think that's one of the silver linings of COVID. It helped casinos make some tough decisions. One, obviously, was the smoking issue. And I know I heard you mention too, let's think about what didn't open when you guys opened back up. And one of those things was being the buffet. And, buffets are expensive, ask any restaurant operator and they'll tell you it's money lose all the time. So that not opening back up really kind of gives you some future opportunities, because think about it, it's going to be a long time for anybody who's comfortable in a buffet line. Just because we have vaccines, a lot of people are saying we're still going to be wearing masks until the end of the year, at least. And that's okay. If that's what we have to do as we get our community vaccinated, that's fine. But it's, a buffet situation. I don't know if I see that coming back in the near future.
Again, one of those situations that we've always talked about, really, why do we have a buffet? I mean, it's a money loser. It loses money. It has ever since we've opened this property. And it's been true with every casino across the country. So now this COVID has allowed the casinos, and I call it a reset, to look at different parts of the business that, why were we doing that? We were, and so really we closed the buffet down, and you're right. Chances are never open it again. And, we've developed some plans. We've had some architects and designers come in and kind of give us a few ideas on what we can do with that area. And now it's, do we do it? Do we not? And those are things that we still have to make a decision on. And some of that will be based upon the business levels and when will that business start to come back? And right now, we're somewhat in survival mode. We've had to lay off a number of employees when it started. Haven't been able to bring them back. We've been fortunate enough to generate enough business to keep the doors open, keep the bills paid, and have a few dollars left over for a few expenses. It's been a tight year.
It has been a tight year for so many of our businesses, and I think it's good to highlight the fact, we look in our community as our casino is one of our largest employers. We look at it as this monolith. And for the small business that's suffering, that's trying to keep their doors open, that maybe only has 5 employees, but is still saying, I've put 20 years of my life into this and I'm doing everything I can, for them to hear that they're not alone, I think is really important. And it's those efforts, I think, by all of us to recognize that everyone has been affected by this on a health level, on a mental health level, on an economic level. And the best recourse to move forward is just by continuing to do what we can together. And even with you being economically affected as you have been at the casino, you guys came up with the spare change donation program. Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, that came up because of the fact that we weren't able to get any change from the banks. And right. Who would have thought that a 2-cent or a 3-cent coupon could cause so much heartburn? But what we ended up doing is we were able to figure out that we could take the machines, we could take our ATMs and force them to round up and not pay out change, but kick back out a coupon. And so if a person had a coupon or a voucher for $8.14, the machines would give back the $8 in cash, but the 14 cents would be kicked out in a coupon. So that's kind of how we had set it up. And then we thought, there were a lot of people that had said, what am I going to do with a 14-cent coupon or a 10-cent coupon? So anyway, we came up with the idea, let's put a drop box and let's see if we can get them to donate it to a charity in the area. So anyway, that's what we did, and lo and behold, we've been able to generate anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month in spare change, and those are pennies and nickels at a time. So anyway, we've got a gentleman by the name of Marty, who is our area relations rep, and he's out in the community looking for worthy nonprofits, small entities that really don't get a lot of exposure from the bigger nonprofits,
Mhm.
and that's who we're donating to. So, we're donating to a lot of smaller charities. It might be $200, $500, or $1,000. I mean, we've been doing that now for a number of months. So it's been very enlightening to be able to help some of these smaller charities out that, struggle any kind of help at all. So that's probably one of the silver linings that's occurred from the COVID. Who would have known that we'd have gone down that road?
We all
And
forgot
we
about the change shortage.
yeah, we would have never thought about it. I mean, there's a number of unique stories that we had. One gentleman, who would have thought that a gentleman came in with $5,000 worth of change that made it. We had a promotion, and we paid a 10% premium or something for any change over and above what you brought in. And we had one guy that came in with $5,000 worth of change, and who would have, you know, had that much change sitting around? So anyway, that's kind of we made it through it. I mean, the banks now are able to provide us some change,
Mhm.
but we're still running with the program. We'll continue to run with the program probably for the rest of the year and see where it takes.
I think that's fantastic. And I encourage anybody take that voucher coupon that kicks back out and drop it in. Let's see what we can do for our local small nonprofits. That's a really big thing to do. Um, what about going forward? So we know, I mean, the casino is, you guys, you've been the epitome of safety. You've done such a fantastic job and really enforcing, temperature checks, masking. And I know there was initial, why would anybody go to a casino in a pandemic? Well, we still need to be able to do things. We know now after 12 months of this nearly that not having communications beyond what you and I are doing right now virtually is really difficult on us mentally, and it's taxing on our economy. So as we slowly reopen, and you've been open a lot more than everyone else, and because you can, and that's not a difference between anything other than how you've been able to maintain it too, because you were responsible enough that if you had cases, you were aware that, okay, yep, we're not going to just throw our doors open and say, yeah, we're going to spread it. So you did great there. What are you going to do forward as we go to adapt and encourage the community to safely engage again?
Well, just to kind of go back and kind of comment on on the fact that we did, or we do temperature checks of everybody coming into the property. Our employees get checked, our customers get checked. But I think one of the distinct advantages that we have is because of our size and some of the technology that we have is that if we do have a COVID person that tests positive, we have the ability to basically track that person in the casino through our surveillance system. So normally we will go back and track that individual for 72 hours, whether it's an employee or a customer. We will document any contact that that person had in those 72 hours on property. And we will reach out to the customer as well as the employee and their family members, notifying them that they were in contact with somebody that might have tested positive or did test positive. Now, when you think about the fact that we have anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people that come through our doors a day, and we're sitting at about 350 employees right now. We've only had 22 positive cases that have come through our door through the whole time period. So we do really a good we really do well at tracking that, but more importantly, that we've created policies with our employees that if they have any symptoms at all or think that they do, they're allowed to call in and are given time off, excused time off. And it does put some pressures on the operation, is because, we do have a number of employees that will call in daily and say, I think I'm not feeling good. I might have I've got the symptoms, so I'm taking the day off. Well, it's a very lenient policy, and it does put a lot of operational pressure on us. But I think the other thing that we did really well is that we partnered with a local hospital, and we basically bought
Bear River Health.
Bear River Health, and we actually bought about 1,000 test kits from them. So anytime our employees have any symptoms at all, we will set up a time for them to go down and get tested. We do that as well as that if anybody does test positive, they have to have a negative test before they're allowed to come back to work. So we've got all of these things operationally in place to protect not only our customers but our employees. More importantly, I guess, trying to protect everybody and trying to find balance in there. So we'll continue doing that throughout the summer. And again, you know when we're ever going to stop. So
We'll
the
get
other thing,
there.
I think the other thing that we're excited about is because of our relationship with the tribe, we were able to get our vaccines early,
Mhm.
and a lot of employees did take the shots, but a lot of them didn't, and that's kind of sad. And I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to incentivize the rest of our employees to take the shots.
Yes.
Even though that is free, we've given them time off to take it, et cetera, et cetera. Not everybody is taking it, so it kind of puts a little pressure on everybody.
And I think as a community, as we start seeing more and more vaccinations rolling in, which we are, as of yesterday, we had announcements from the state that, 50 and up now, and certain other sectors of 1C. So we have this expansion, 4 million vaccines expected by the end of the month in the state of Michigan. So you're going to see more and more, but like you said, not everybody's going to take it. And I wonder if maybe some community guilt will work at some point so that we can hit that 70%, immunity stage. And we should off mention a little bit too, that it was announced yesterday that the tribe has incentive is doing some incredible things with their additional vaccines from, their source to be able to vaccinate not just your service sector employees, but many, many more throughout 3 counties. And we're going to have a little one-on-one with them coming up in the coming weeks, because that's incredible. The idea of immunity in the community to keep us all safe so that we can get to a point this summer where when visitors are here, we're still masked and we're still safely gathering, but we're actually feeling like we're turning a big corner. And so we appreciate that so much. Anything else for us? Any big surprises coming your way? By the way, we need to mention that the Sage, is still open. You've got indoor dining, and now everybody else is up to 50% too. But so just because the buffet is no longer, you still can dine at the casino.
But I think the other thing that we struggled with this year with the COVID is we had a number of projects that we were right in the middle of completing or starting, and one of the bigger projects that we had completed the drawings on, the architectural drawings on, was a new hotel. We were actually going to start this year on a new hotel that would connect to the Petoskey property. Very excited about it. Gorgeous looking hotel, but due to the COVID, it's very difficult to get the contractors and people lined up. Costs have skyrocketed, so we basically had to put that on hold. And the other big project that we had started this last year was to add 10,000 additional feet onto the Mackinac Casino. And we're still struggling with that a little bit. Certainly the COVID had delayed a lot of the product that we needed, and a lot of the construction people that were on that project were asked to quarantine, were asked to not be able to be on the project. So we're hoping that we'll finish up that project this spring. So if you get the chance, it's a cute little property, got a little character to it. And there were a couple other projects that we started internally. The one that we're kind of hoping is the new Victories Entertainment and Lounge. And we wanted to set it up for live entertainment. And we had live entertainment booked all last year that canceled on us. So we're kind of looking at trying to bring back some limited entertainment in probably April, May, sometime maybe latter part of May. And it'll all be contingent upon, the community and the vaccine, how everybody's feeling about it. But it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful space. We haven't been able to use it.
We'll get there to it soon now. We were supposed to be there. We were supposed to have a business after hours in May to kick that off. I remember, you know what, we'll get there. If not this May, then later on. We're confident in that. So Thank you for taking the time, Ron, and updating everyone and kind of letting us all know that, first and foremost, the casino and the tribe see the community as a major part of everything that comes together for our area that makes it so incredible. So we know that you're all working so hard to keep us safe and to keep everyone safe and also continue those important parts of our community. So we thank you for that.
Thank you.